So now that you have finished going through topic 3 and setting up the template with all of the different family types in there that we need and with the various other settings with regards to the levels, we now need to set Revit up so that it makes it really easy for you to find your template and to use it when creating new projects. To do this, if we're starting from our opening screen like this, we click on the little back arrow here. And this will take us back to our usual screen, what Revit looks like when we've got a file open. So click up on File, and down in the right hand side of this little box that comes up is a box called Options. Click on Options. Now this is where there's a whole wide variety of options in here, different things that you can change within Revit. For example, Revit usually sends you reminders to save files every 30 minutes. You can change that to be more or less or no reminders, which I don't recommend. Revit has a few little quirks about it, and occasionally there are certain things that you are doing, particularly in very large project files, where the file itself can become corrupted. And without those regular saves, you can sometimes lose days, if not weeks, of work through a corrupted file. Whereas a backup file, which is what happens every time it saves, it creates a backup file. You're able to go and open up one of those backup files and hopefully you've only lost at the most 30 minutes worth of work. If you're really worried, if you're on a very, very big file, then you can change that down to 15 minutes. But for the most part, 30 minutes should be fine. This here, the number of journals, this is for your file cleanup. You can change those settings there. For the user face, we're starting to get into things about how the user face all works, which tabs you have open. We're not going to touch any of those. We're going to just leave them as they are. What we are going to do is we're going to go to File Locations. And this is where we can set up our template file. So you can see here that we have all these different templates that we could see the very first time we opened up Revit. And none of them were the ones that we wanted. So what we're going to do is we are going to select these files and we're going to remove them. So click on the Remove file and then we'll select this next one and remove. We can go through and remove each of these files. They are not required. But it won't let us remove the last file because it always needs a file in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to first add in our template file into that list, and then we can remove that last file. So click on the green plus as you saw me just do then, this green plus here, and then go to where you have saved your template file. And then select your template file and select Open. Now you will see your template file sitting in this list. And now you can select on that last template and remove it. Now your template file is the only file that is sitting there as an option. Now you can go down and click OK. So now we have your file set as an option. We can now look at starting a new project using your project template file. So the best way to do that, we can go through the File menu and click on New, but let's go back to our opening screen because this is what opens up every time we open Revit. And it's a good way to get familiar with it. So the opening screen icon is the one next to the blue R on the left hand side. So now we can say we can click on New, and now it will come up with your template file as the only option there for a template file. Now previously when we created this template file, we clicked on Project Template. But now what we want to do is we want to use our template file to create our project. And what this means is it keeps your template file clean and empty of anything in there that relates specifically to a job. It's our template file that we want to be able to use time and time and time again for different projects. And the way to do that is we keep that clean by keeping it as a template file, and we click on Project and then click OK. And now we'll open up our template file, not as a template file, but as a project file, the .rvt file. And as always, the first thing you should do is go and click on File, Save As, and this time you'll see that you can now select Project, so click on Project, and then you can save your file. And what we're suggesting that for the first project is that you save it as your name and cottage, because the first project is a cottage. And then select Save. And now you have a project file all set up, all ready to go for your first project that you're going to create starting in topic 4. And your file is ready to go with all of those new items in there that you have just created.